All right. Well, good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to see you all. My name is Matt Wells. I have the privilege of serving as the director of the Virginia Department of Conservation and Recreation. I want to say thank you to everyone for joining us today to celebrate National Dam Safety Awareness Day. I want to thank Hanover County and the community of Cherrydale for hosting us. I want to thank Senator McDougall, Delegate Wyatt, Supervisor Davis, Chairman of the Board Herzberg, John Badinsky, the County Administrator, a whole bunch of other people, Director Hardman. I see some folks from the Hanover Carolina Soil and Water District, our great partners, and our partners from NRCS and VDEM. So really glad to see everybody here today. Today commemorates the Great Flood of 1889 in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, which was caused by the catastrophic failure of the South Fork Dam when days of heavy rain and poorly designed dam alterations compromised the safety and the stability of the dam. More than 2,000 people lost their lives in that event, and it remains the worst dam-related disaster in the history of the United States. Dam safety is an important issue. I learned that firsthand on my first day on the job in March of 2022. I was 3 hours in and I got a call that we were about to have a near dam failure near Richmond, Virginia. It required a multi-agency response. The governor got involved, everybody leapt into action, and we avoided a catastrophe that day. And we got lucky, but as I like to tell my staff, luck is not a strategy. And as you can imagine, since day one, we've really made dam safety a priority. So we have been fortunate to have great supporters in the legislature who have provided funding both for dam safety grants and for additional staff over the past 3 years, and I want to give them an opportunity to talk a little bit today. And so it's my pleasure now to turn the podium over to two of them. First, Delegate Scott Wyatt, and then Senator Ryan McDougall. Delegate Wyatt, you want to come say a few words?
Good morning and welcome everyone to beautiful Hanover County. As you know, Governor Youngkin has declared May 31st Dam Safety Awareness in Virginia as part of a national effort to encourage individual and community responsibility for safeguarding dams. I'd like to thank the Governor's Office, the Virginia Department of Conservation and Recreation, Director Matt Wells, Chief Deputy Director Andrew Smith, the Virginia Department of Natural and Historic Resources, Travis Voles, and Deputy Secretary of Natural and Historic Resources, Corey Scott. Hanover County Department of Public Works, I want to personally thank Randy Hardman, who is here with Hanover County, County Administrator John Budusky, and the work that Mike Flagg has done in Hanover County for so many years. Also want to recognize Supervisor Sean Davis, who is with us today. I see Supervisor Herzberg, who is here as well. And I, as a young boy, as a teenager, my mother's sister lives right on Fox Rock Lane, and I fished this pond as a teenager numerous times. Used to keep our John boat right here many years ago when I was a much younger man. The Cherrydale Dam Association was chosen from this program because its recent multi-million-dollar rehabilitation, which reduces the dam break flood risk to several homes downstream in the Beaver Dam Creek watershed while protecting Chesapeake Bay through nutrient removal. Hanover County was partnering with the Cherrydale Association to save this lake and improve water quality by addressing pollutant removal requirements for the county's Chesapeake Bay Total Maximum Daily Load, or TMDL as folks refer to. This funding was made possible by a grant of Virginia Stormwater Local Assistance Fund from the Department of Environmental Quality. After completion of this project, Hanover County Public Works was awarded the Best Major Dam Rehabilitation Project from the Virginia Lakes and Watershed Association for this Cherrydale Lake. I want to congratulate all those who made this possible, and also I want to finally thank Watershed Consulting Group as well as Hills Carnes for their work on this project, and it's a great day to be in Hanover today. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate Wyatt. It's now my privilege to invite up Senator Ryan McDougall. Senator.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Matt, and thank you all for being here. Now, Don Wells is here, and Don, we've been talking about dams for 15, 20 years. In Virginia, we are uniquely situated because there are so many dams that were created historically. They were used for grist mills, for agriculture, to feed, or for communities, and as a result, we have a lot of dams. And as Matt said, we've seen some of the catastrophic consequences of not having dam safety, But as y'all know from this project, fixing dams that have been around for hundreds of years is incredibly expensive. It's very important, but incredibly expensive. The ability for local governments, communities, and the Commonwealth to work together to tackle this problem is what makes Virginia unique and what makes this the best place for us to raise our families and live. So thank you for each taking part in this. The dam issue continues to be a problem, and one that we will not fix very quickly, and we will continue to struggle. But this is the example of how we can get it done correctly, and I'm proud that my friends and neighbors right here in Hanover have been leading the way and showing the rest of the Commonwealth how you can come to a positive conclusion with a solution. So thank y'all for being here. Thank you for your efforts, and thank you, Matt, for your team and everything they've done.
Thank you, Senator. We are indeed fortunate to have such strong supporters in the legislature. Hanover County is really fortunate to have such wonderful representatives down at the General Assembly. We've also been really fortunate to have an administration that supports the work we do. Governor Youngkin has provided a proclamation for us today. I'm going to take the opportunity to read it because it's not official if you don't read it. Dam Safety Awareness Day. Whereas National Dam Safety Awareness Day was established to memorialize the South Fork Dam failure in Johnstown, Pennsylvania that occurred on May 31st, 1889. And whereas the South Fork Dam failure was the worst dam-related disaster in our nation's history and more than 2,200 lives were lost. And whereas National Dam Safety Awareness Day is intended to highlight the potential dangers of improperly constructed or maintained dams across the United States. And whereas the Department of Conservation and Recreation is the state agency responsible for the regulation of dams in Virginia, and whereas there are more than 2,500 regulated dams in Virginia, the majority of which are privately owned, and whereas to ensure the protection of life and property, owners of regulated dams are required by state law to properly construct, alter, and operate their dams, and whereas dams in Virginia range from low to high hazard depending on their size, location, and downstream development, and whereas, according to the National Inventory of Dams, Virginia's dams have an average age of 76 years. And whereas Governor Youngkin has prioritized addressing aging or deficient dams in Virginia and the risks they present to the public. And whereas Virginians can determine their property's flood risk during a potential dam failure using the Virginia Flood Risk Information System and the Dam Safety Information System. And whereas all owners, government officials, first responders, emergency management personnel, downstream residents, and citizens should be aware of the importance of dam safety and the need to properly maintain and operate dams. Now, therefore, I, Glenn Youngkin, do hereby recognize May 31st, 2025 as Dam Safety Awareness Day in the Commonwealth of Virginia, and I call this observance to the attention of all of our citizens. So, as mentioned, dam safety is a shared responsibility, and our message today as DCR is threefold. Know your risk, know your role, and know the benefits of dam safety. Dam safety matters. Of the more than 2,500 dams that we regulate in the Commonwealth, about 527 of those are high risk, which means that if they fail, they would cause significant damage to life or property. This has been a priority for us, as I mentioned, and the state is doing its part. When the Youngkin administration took office, we did not have hazard classification or condition assessments for almost 1,900 of the 2,500 dams that we regulate. We didn't even know who owned 800 of them. Fortunately, we have a hard-working dam safety team who provide technical assistance to ensure that dams are properly and safely designed, built, operated, and maintained, and thanks to their efforts, the number of dams with unknown ownerships has fallen by 99%, from 812 to 5. We've also made tremendous progress in classifying and assessing hundreds of these unknown dams. We've also made significant funding available to dam owners. Senator McDougall mentioned dam rehabs are expensive and they can take years to complete and are a coordinated effort. DCR offers matching grants from our Dam Safety, Flood Prevention, and Protection Assistance Fund for hazard studies and for dam repairs, safety modifications, and removals. And we recently announced awards of about $9.5 million in dam grants just yesterday. But this isn't just a state effort. We rely on local partners and dam owners as well. Together, we can ensure that we are protected in the event of a dam failure, and I'd urge everyone to use the tools on our website that the proclamation mentioned to determine your proximity to dams. And please share these tools with your friends and neighbors. If you own a dam, And if you live in a subdivision that has a lake, you probably own part of a dam. You make sure you understand your responsibilities to help maintain it. If you're in a dam break inundation zone, it's important that you consider getting flood insurance. And if you know of anyone that has concerns about a dam or you have concerns about a dam, please contact us. Our dam safety staff assists dam owners comply with state regulations, and we serve as a resource for the engineering community and emergency responders. Our first goal is always to work with dam owners. We're here to help. At this time, I want to transition to the dam that we see here today. As Delegate Wyatt mentioned, the Cherrydale Lake Dam was recently awarded Best Major Dam Rehabilitation and Design by the Virginia Lakes and Watersheds Association, and it's an ideal place for us to recognize the importance of dam safety. The work included armoring the dam with a concrete block, drainage from the roadway was diverted away from the dam to prevent erosion, and the concrete spillway was repaired along with other dam safety improvements. And now I'd like to hand it off to Hanover County Supervisor Sean Davis, who's going to speak a little bit more about the community's efforts to rehab this dam. Supervisor?
Thank you, Director. It says I have 5 minutes on here. I thought it said 50 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to shimmy it down to about 25. Thank you all for being here. It really is a celebratory event. Welcome to Cherrydale Lake. To many of you who are standing around here, you'll see the folks who actually own this dam. But I have a special thank you not only to the Governor's Office, Department of Conservation and Recreation. Thank you, Director, for being here, but particularly to Governor Youngkin and all of his support and the support of the General Assembly. This doesn't happen. And Scott, if I'm not mistaken, you were on the Board of Supervisors when we started this, right? Yeah. I know you used to fish here. I've heard Delegate Wyatt still comes out about 11, 12 o'clock at night and fishes this lake. So this has a long history. Here's a personal story behind it, and it's not personal to me, it's personal to the folks here in Cherrydale. This came to us as a priority, us being the county, the community, and there was a real problem, and time was of the essence. It was imminent that this needed to be fixed, and we weren't quite sure what was going to happen. We had two choices once we realized there was an opportunity to grab funds and make this work, and the board supported that, and that was to go back out to the community, and I told the director this. We had a number of meetings, but the last meeting we had, we said, you've got two choices. You can either accept this money and get this engineered repair in place, or this lake will not be here. There was no middle ground. And I want to recognize Don Wells. Where's Don Wells? Raise your hand. Don served over a quarter century. He's a resident here, served over a quarter century at SWCD, and he helped in that meeting to really codify this is where we are. And Master Sergeant Bill Meeks was a Civic Association president. That's who the lake's named after now. Bill, you're great. This all came about 3 or 4 meetings at the library, and then the last meeting was you're either going to do it or it's going away. So we know that would have been a tremendous loss. Senator McDougall told me, had a lot of history here. I think he used to drink beer here when he was 16, 17 years old and stuff like that. But everybody knows, all joking aside, this is a pretty big deal here in Hanover County. And so as we sit here and we started talking about this, we had to do right-of-way acquisition, right? We had to have folks recognize what needed to take place. And there were some folks that said, I'm not sure I want to do this, and I'm not sure I want to do that. What do we do? And Randy Hardman was our deputy director at the time, and our director, Mike Flagg, amazing guy. Mike and I came out here many nights. He rolled up his sleeves, we put on our boots, and we walked house to house to house, and we explained, this is what you're going to have to do to grant the right-of-way acquisition for us to get this done. And it worked. And so this project took years of hard work, conversations with residents, community meetings, just to explain the process. Then you had to get into the coordination with the adjacent property owners and have them understand not only the importance, but what the impact was going to be if it wasn't done. So I've recognized Bill Meeks, Bill and Renee Mullins were also crucial to this, as were all of the citizens of this neighborhood. So with that, the support to rebuild came as a community effort, and folks even outside of this district came together and said, Cherrydale is something that needs to be fixed, right? And you look out here, I remember being out here many nights, particularly in the summer, and the damn bugs, man, they would light you up. Mike Flagg and I out here on Friday nights, it's like 6 o'clock, we're looking at stuff. I drug Badesky out here a couple of times. And Kilduff, when Todd Kilduff came on board, it was like, why do we keep going to the dam on Saturday nights and Friday nights? I don't know, something happened. We came out here. And what you see here, if you hadn't seen it before, this is a work of art. So folks like Director Wells, I mean, you know what this like. The average citizen didn't. When it came in and it got fixed, this is primo. I mean, this is the best of the best. So I am just so happy. Again, the support from the General Assembly, from all of the offices that the governor has command over, and our staff. But mostly, I just want to thank the citizens of Cherrydale for getting behind this project, because I'm telling you, one, we wouldn't be here today, and two, if you hadn't gotten behind it, this would just be a dirt crater right now. And that's not an embellishment. There would not be a lake here. So I hope the folks here enjoy it. Bill, thank you so much for all of your leadership. Again, the folks in the General Assembly, Scott, Ryan, working so hard to get this done. And Director, I know you do not have an easy job. I was very unfamiliar with all of the responsibilities that a director has under here, and you've done a tremendous job. So thank you for being out here. Thank you all.
Thank you, Supervisor Davis. Yeah, I will say, as DCR director, seeing this project and seeing how it's come together, and seeing the proactive steps that the community took, really makes me proud of the work that we all do together. As somebody that considers themselves a Hanover County boy, seeing the way that the community has come together to make this happen really warms my heart as well. I want to thank everybody for attending this event today. We have made tremendous progress over the past couple of years. As the Senator said, there's still a lot of work to be done, and so I look forward to continuing to work with the community here, with Hanover, with our localities across the Commonwealth, with the General Assembly, with anybody else who's willing to help us to tackle this important problem. And so now I think we're going to take a photo together, and then we're going to do a tour of the dam. And so if everybody that considers themselves a partner in this effort wants to come, we're going to do a photo with the proclamation.